Cause when that trumpet sound, boy, you don't wanna miss out. Either in or you out, ain't no straddling the fence. Either in or you out, ain't no straddling the fence. Either in or you out, ain't no straddling the fence. Either in with the Lord or you out with the Lord. Either in or you out, ain't no straddling the fence. Either in or you out, ain't no straddling the fence. Either in or you out, ain't no straddling the fence. Either in with the Lord or you out.
Yes, sir.
Double check make sure you connect to the internet. Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
There we go. Got some folks in the building today. Happy new moon. Dedicated feast day. We got the script of the day. We're gonna start doing this every Shabbat. We got REI. We're gonna read the script of the day. Make sure you read loud and clear. Yep. What's the name of the chapter?
James.
Chapter what?
5-8.
No. Chapter 5, verse 8.
Chapter 5, verse 8, KJV. Be ye also patient, establish your hearts for the coming of the Lord.
All right, so James chapter 5, verse 8. Good reading. Be ye patient, establish your hearts, for the coming of the Most High draweth nigh. I mean, he ain't far, huh? I mean, he coming back quick.
Quick. Hey, close.
He come back quick and close and fast like a thief in the night. Give her a round of applause for that scripture reading. Yeah, we're gonna try to start doing that every Shabbat. I was gonna do a couple other things, but we can do it next week and the weeks to come with the Lord's Prayer and with something else that I had in mind. I can't think of it right now. But had a long, busy week. We done made it to another Shabbat, a double Shabbat. So all praise to the Most High for that. Anybody got anything they want to get off their chest?
It's hot.
All praise. Turn the air on. Anybody else got anything? Testimony? No.
Well, check-ins for the week. How everybody week went. Did anybody have a chance to expound on the word to somebody? Trey, was you able to, talk about the word to somebody at school or on the football team? Yeah. Give us a little insight on that. Okay. All
How
praise.
did that conversation come about?
Yeah,
Somebody asked you, what were you? As in, like, your nationality? What was your religion? So y'all just going around talking about what's your religion on the football team? That's unheard of. No?
in school.
Just in the school?
Mm-hmm.
What would make them ask you that question?
From class, and they asked me a question. I told them what I was before, and they popped back up their hand.
Okay. All right. All praise.
All praise.
A win's a win.
Yeah, that's a good check-in, man, and that's what we mean when we, when we talk about communicating, y'all. That's what we talking about, because just from that, Trey, we got a lot out of that, right? So you got a lot out of it too. By your upbringing, you was ready for that moment. You know what I mean? You was ready for that moment. So that's what I be trying to tell my boys. I'm like, represent who you is. Y'all ain't too young to represent. So all praises, man, and good kingdom work. Anybody else got any testimonies, any weekly check-ins? All right, I guess I'll give a check-in. You know, pretty much seem like a basic week, you know, from Shabbat to Shabbat. And you know, then we get back to the work week, get back to the school week, you know, we got life going on and things like that. But it do be the little things that make a difference. Because early on in the week, it's a brother from he from like Brooklyn or something. He from New York, but he worked with us, and he was like, he seen me. He's like, "You always got your fringes on," and I'm like, you know, all praises. Then you know, we get to chopping it up sometimes about what he know and stuff. When he was down there in New York, he'll be out there watching the camp, so that's how he know about it. So you know, when I seen him later on in the week, I told him, man, you know, got a shirt size, and told him I'm gonna go ahead and get him some fringes because he always interested in the truth. He always will stop me and, you know, comment on the fringes or give a good word. So sometimes it just be your presence and your due diligence that, you know, make a difference. And it's like sometimes I think people feel kind of standoffish too with us in this truth. So it's better sometimes if we able to be like, hey, look, you know, just show some love, and reel them on in. So, but that was my plan with him. So, you know, I hollered at our key. We're gonna get him a shirt made up, all praise to the Most High shirt, so he can represent what he knows.
Yes,
but that's my check-in for the week.
All praise. Trey, I want you to read the Psalms 81, 1 through 4. Psalms 81, 1 through 4.
81, 1 through 4.
Hold on, let me
Pull it up.
pull it up real quick. Excellent testimony.
Yeah, all praise.
You know, your workplace is ground zero for your street preacher.
It's a good fishing ground.
Good fishing ground. They gonna ask questions.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? If they don't ask questions, they definitely peeping out your gear or something on you to make you make them question about what you're doing, because they always see you. If they get comfortable enough with you, then they're gonna ask you about your attire. All right, Trey, go ahead and read Psalms 81, 1 through 4.
Sing out loud unto Yah. Our strength make a joyful noise unto the Yah of Jacob. Jacob palms,
Psalm.
and bring hither and silver. Blow up the trumpet in the new moon, in the time appointed on a solemn feast day. For this was the statute for Israel and an alarm of Yah of Jacob.
All right.
This he ordinary.
That's good.
Let's see.
1 through 4. Read one more time. Sing aloud unto Yahuwah, our strength, and make a joyful noise unto our Elohim of Jacob. Take song and bring hither the timbre in the pleasant harp with the pastry. Blow up the trumpet in the new moon. It's the new moon, right? It actually hit last night, I believe, in the time appointed on our solemn feast day. For this is a statute for Israel. Who's the statute for? Israel. And a law of Yahuwah of Jacob. So a law means it ain't gonna never change, right? Is the law gonna change? No, sir. So there we go with that. So that's the script for the new moon. We just got a couple of current events. We're gonna start off and finish what we started last week with the underground drone that with the slave ship. So we're gonna finish that, and then we just gonna got the natural disasters that's going on around the city.
Certificate uses real world scenarios to teach you.
We ain't gonna watch all this. This is long.
What if you could make a song using only your
You probably break it up like you did last week.
voice? Let's start with the drums.
And into the problem they had been trying to outrun the entire voyage. A ship that size, carrying that many people, could be seen, could be boarded, could become evidence in a courtroom. So, under cover of darkness, Foster steered the schooner into a hidden channel of the river, north of the city, away from anywhere an official might be watching. The captives were moved onto a smaller riverboat, and then, with the transfer complete, Foster set his own ship on fire. He watched it burn down to the waterline. He watched it sink into the mud near a stretch of river known as 12 Mile Island. He believed the current and the silt would finish what the fire started, that the only physical proof of the crime would simply disappear from the world forever. For 160 years, he was right. Rumors about the voyage never fully went away. Foster, Meagher, and a third man, John Dabney, eventually faced legal action over it. The only price any of them paid was a fine of $1,000, levied against Foster alone, for conspiring to bring captives into the country illegally. The Civil War began the following spring, and in the chaos of it, the case was simply set aside and forgotten. No one who orchestrated the Clotilda's voyage ever answered for what happened to the 110 people locked below its deck. $1,000. That was the entire price of it, on paper. Kosola and the others were divided among Meagher, his brothers, and the associates who had helped finance the trip. He was given to Meagher's brother James, who could not pronounce his name and told him he would answer to Cudjoe instead. Cudjoe Lewis lived enslaved on the Meagher property for 5 years, until emancipation finally reached Alabama at the end of the Civil War. When freedom came, he and the others who had survived the crossing found themselves in a country with no plan for what should happen to them next. No money to sail home, no legal claim to the land they had worked for free. So they did something with almost no precedent in American history. A community of people who had all crossed the same ocean on the same ship, who all remembered the same raids and the same barracoon and the same 45 days below deck, pooled what little they could earn, and bought land north of Mobile with their own hands. They called it African Town. It would not be the last time they had to fight for that ground. Some of the people living there today can trace their family line directly back to the men and women who came off that ship. Freedom had come with nothing attached to it. Everything after that, they built themselves. Cudjoe Lewis outlived nearly everyone else who had crossed with him, though not everyone. 2 women who made that same crossing, Redoshi and Matilda McCreer, actually outlived him by years, one into the late 1930s, the other into 1940. For most of the 20th century, Cudjoe Lewis was remembered as the last living person ever taken from Africa on a slave ship.
All right, we'll stop right there.
I like making my podcast. I don't like.
But just to get Caleb brought up, so this was I think approximately 50 years after slavery was banned in America. So that guy, that heathen that blew up his boat, was still going back overseas to Africa and grabbing slaves from the slave port, and he was trying to fight against customs and whatnot. So he done built a separate deck for the slaves to be in, and the cargo stuff on top, so they wouldn't check underneath. And how long was it? 120 days or something like that, or was it no?
It was
6 months.
It was something like a couple of months. Let me see.
I think it was 6 months. But so that's why he blew up the boat, because it was slavery at this time was illegal. So we'll do part 3 next week on that. Last current event, Most High showing his handiwork with the destruction of Babylon. And it's just with water, some tornadoes. Man, where was that? Where'd it go? It been raining majority of the week. This is probably the most that it hasn't rained all week. Was today on the Shabbat. It rained earlier this morning, but as we see just from this photo, a lot of cities and a lot of states haven't seen this much rain or this much of a flood since the early 90s. I know what I've seen today from Indianapolis, they haven't seen a flood like this since 1991. I was 1 year old. Caleb wasn't even born yet. Young whippersnapper. All right, so let's see what they got going on here with this flood.
Tonight, catastrophic flooding in Indiana. The National Weather Service declaring multiple flash flood emergencies outside Indianapolis, as much as 12 inches of rain falling in 36 hours. In Cambridge City, first responders carefully navigating floating debris to make high water rescues.
Born and raised here, grew up here. We're just experiencing the worst flooding I've ever seen.
This man holding onto a utility pole, standing on a boat that's almost completely submerged. Rescuers coming to his aid. Watch as he crawls onto their boat. Rich Nye from our affiliate WTHR is north of there in Muncie.
We have had nonstop heavy rain, and it's coming down in buckets. The Muncie Fire Department bringing people out of their houses with their pets, family by family.
Fire officials making this plea to residents on live TV.
Please shelter in place. If they need evacuated, call 911. We'll get to them as soon as we can.
The widespread flooding comes after 2 monster systems ravaged the Midwest in 24 hours. Our team taking refuge in our car as today's storms roared through. There's lightning there. We just saw another one. It's crazy how fast the storm came in. In Portage, Indiana, neighbors telling me this home exploded during Tuesday's storm.
And they're so bad.
Brian Parker running to see if he could help.
Shook my whole house. And I thought a jet had crashed.
You thought a jet had crashed?
That's what it sounded like.
Authorities confirm 1 person was killed, family identifying her as Leona Rice, a wife and mother in her late 80s.
Residents there dealing with so much. Maggie Vespa joins us now from hard-hit Cambridge City in Indiana. Maggie, we can see that water behind you, and it's still rising at this hour?
Yeah, Tom, that's right. And you can see how high it is on that house. And then look at that stop sign over there, barely peeking out. That foot of rain that parts of the state saw in the last 36 hours, that's 5 times what they normally see for the whole month of August. Tom.
We thank you for watching. And remember, stay updated on breaking news.
All right. Let's just imagine you back in the days of Noah, and it rained for 40 days and 40 nights. So this isn't even half of what was going down back then. Remember that the floods reached above the highest mountain. So right now they're saying Mount Everest is the highest mountain in the world, just know that that flood was up there. And the Most High still have room to go. Huh? Not one water spilled over the edge of the earth.
Boy.
So that's the current event for the day. Our Vern is next on stage.
All praises.
You see the caption on the screen. Friend versus foe. Actually, this started from a conversation last Shabbat with nephew. We asked him if he knew the difference between a friend versus an associate, and he gave a pretty good. He gave us a good. What's the word? Yeah, his good example of what it is, and then we cleaned it up some with some script. So today is dedicated to friend versus foe.
Yeah.
How can you determine who is your friend, who is your associate, who is your enemy? And we're gonna get to it.
All praises. All praises to the Most High. Let me try to get a screen share going. Y'all can see that pretty good.
Pull it up. I would say I don't know if we can drag it. Try to see if you can drag it up. Or see if you can blow it up.
Just blowing it up like that. It ain't.
Would you do wind it out?
Yeah. Okay. It may not be widening on your end.
It's wide on mine.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Well, either way, I got them here, but we'll roll through them. It's just like a little delay.
yeah, I would say because I can see it on mine. Make it not that too big. That's the original size.
It's like clicking. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think the other one.
You can't use your hand.
Yeah,
on the pad?
That's what it's doing though. It's
okay.
like that's me doing it a little bit. But let's see.
Just do the original then. That's cool.
All right, y'all. Well, here we go. Like he said, we're talking about friend or foe, friend versus foe, basically. From a biblical perspective, and it say you cannot always identify a friend by who makes you comfortable, nor a foe by who makes you uncomfortable. So that's the whole thing about it, right? It's like, you know, because we like Trey just said, they asking, well, what are you? What's your faith? What's your religion? You know, and it's like, I'm a Hebrew. So from a Hebrew perspective, that's everything we want to deal with is from a biblical Hebrew perspective. So that's what we talking about, friend or foe from a biblical perspective, because from a Western European perspective, like what is a friend to us in the West? Like what is a friend? Somebody you hang out with a lot, somebody you go do things with, tell your secrets to. What else? What do friends do in the American mindset?
Party.
Just be around each other, because a lot of times you'd be like, just like we said last week, like you got friends at school or you got some friends in the neighborhood, and it's like, yeah, I got some friends, but you don't know nothing about them. They won't help you if you was getting beat up. They want to help you put food on your table. So they just associates. But in America, it's like because you're around them, they just naturally become your friend.
Yeah.
But it says, how does scripture identify a true friend, brother, or foe? Sometimes a friend wounds you with truth while an enemy kisses with deception. The lesson is not merely about who likes or opposes us. It is about discerning relationships by truth, loyalty, connection, conduct, love, and fruit. So we're gonna see the real definition of friend and foe. It's already jumping into the. We'll jump into it. So we're gonna start looking at the Hebraic meaning of words, because we really have to, if we want to understand what's going on. So we're gonna start looking at the Hebraic meaning of the word. Shalom, shalom. And we're talking about friend or foe, friend versus foe. So these two characters right here, I think y'all can see that. I don't know if y'all can see my cursor. But Raya in Hebrew, friend, companion, neighbor, associate. So that's the Hebrew word right there for friend. So when you say friend, we're saying Raya. All right. This word right here, this is another word for friend. Ohev, one who loves, a loving friend. All right. And they say Ohev, these are the same characters for the word love. In Hebrew, the vowel points just making them say it like that, okay? But these are the same exact letters as the word for love, which is what we would say ahab, or we'd say ahabata, I love you, right? So the same letters for love can mean loving friend. Biblical friendship is not defined only by proximity. So like we said, it's not just defined like America. It's just, hey man, we around each other, we friends. Familiarity, I'm used to him, how he operate, how she operate, we friends. Or pleasant words, because somebody always bigging you up or speaking nice to you. Biblically, that's not necessarily what a friend is. Scripture repeatedly tests friendship by love, faithfulness, truth, and conduct. A friend loves at all times. A friend loveth at all times, and a brother is born for adversity. Proverbs 17 and 17. So it say, a friend loveth at all times, and a brother is born for adversity. It say adversity reveals relationships. Who remains when trouble comes? Who strengthens your walk when friendship becomes inconvenient? So right here, we probably got that word raya, right? But it say a raya or a friend loveth at all times. So that means like, really, when you think about it from a Hebrew perspective of love, so if we're gonna see what love is, and then it forces us to ask the question, am I supposed to correct you every time I see you going off? It say, and a brother is born for adversity. And then it go even deeper than that to say, dang, okay, we talking about friends, but now we bringing this word brother. You see what I'm saying? Now we're bringing this word brother, so that's even deeper than a friend. Questions that reveal friendship. Who remains when trouble comes? Who tells you the truth? Who strengthens your walk? Who disappears when friendship becomes inconvenient? A true friend is not measured only by presence in prosperity, but by faithfulness in adversity. Here's the word that we all use for brother, right? In the Hebrew, ak. Aleph and the chet. Ak can mean a literal brother, relative, or kinsman. And depending on context, someone treated within a broader relationship of brotherhood. So it could mean a literal blood-born brother. It could mean somebody just in your family, or it could just be somebody that you close with, that you got that connection with, right? So just like today, how we use the word brother, you know, especially black folks, we all know we soul brother, soul sister. So we really see a lot of things are just changed in the linguistics. It hasn't changed in the understanding of the human mind. Like we already know that there's some bonds that's deeper than blood. the catchphrase "blood is thicker than water" actually is the opposite of what we think it is. It's the blood of the covenant is thicker than water. So the blood of the covenant is really what makes us brothers and sisters. But in Genesis 13:8, Abraham says concerning himself and Lot, "For we be brethren," although Lot was Abraham's nephew. So he say, "For we be brethren." So even though they was uncle and nephew, they still could call themselves brothers. Therefore, biblical brother language can extend beyond immediate biological sibling. So in Hebrew thought, just because it's your brother, just because it's your Koti, that don't mean that's who you was born by. It's a closer than a brother. I'm gonna go over here so we get this whole script. Proverbs 18 and 24. Proverbs 18. I can pull it up.
Yeah, you might have to stop sharing that one.
Okay.
And then go back to it.
All right, let me see.
So hit stop sharing. You'll pull up.
I wonder if I could do this. If I share the entire screen, like this right here. What we say? Proverbs 18.
Yeah. These are 18:24.
18. Is that cool?
Yeah, as soon as you that arrow to the right before all them things on the right, hit that arrow, it'll make the screen bigger on the blue letter. No. Right at the end of where the verses is, to the right where the arrow to the left.
Right here.
Nope.
Okay. I see what you're saying. Okay. All right. So, Proverbs 18 and 24, it say, "And a man that hath friends must show himself friendly, and there is a friend that sticketh closer than a brother." So there is a friend that sticketh closer than a brother. Blood relationship and faithful relationship are not always the same thing. Someone can call you brother without behaving brotherly. So we all seen that before. You know, somebody say they're your friend, somebody say they love you, somebody say they're your brother, your sister, but then do some back talking behind your back, steal from you, whatever, just don't have your best interest in mind, right? So that's why it's not about, it's really, Hebraic thought is all about action anyway. So like when the Most High said he created day 1, day 2, day 3, and he said they were good, what it really means they was functioning how he put it together. So if something is out of function, then it's not good. So if you say that you're a brother and you're not behaving like a brother, you lying. So that's how we start getting into transgressions. So there's a friend that's closer than a brother. So just because of biology, that's not necessarily the end all be all. Friendship should sharpen you. All right, friendship should sharpen you. Proverbs 27 and 17. Let's just get the whole thing. Proverbs 27. Proverbs 27 and 17 reads, "Iron sharpeneth iron, so a man sharpeneth the countenance of his friend." Iron sharpeneth iron, so a man sharpeneth the countenance of his friend. So that's a telltale sign right there. Your friend should be sharpening you. You should be sharpening your friends. We should be gleaning off each other. If I'm weak in a spot, I should be able to look over here at him or her and be like, dang, I could kind of pick up something from him or her and be stronger in that area, right? So it say iron sharpen iron, so a man sharpeneth the countenance of his friend. It says iron sharpening iron produces friction. So, you know, that could be sparks flying off of it. It could be heat. Healthy friendship is not merely make me comfortable. It should also be help me become better. A godly friend or set apart friend may challenge you, question you, warn you, correct you, encourage you, and strengthen you. Open rebuke. Proverbs 27, 5 through 6. So this talking about open rebuke. At verse 5, it say open rebuke is better than secret love. So that's a heavy one right there. Open rebuke. But, you know, we see it all the time with children. I think it's probably easier to understand with children, right? Hey, yo, sit down. Stop making all that noise. You know, children usually get openly rebuked, and it's like, that's normal, right? And that's out of love. Like I was talking to, I've been talking to a lot of folks this week, just different age groups. But people just talking about they experiences with them belts and them switches. Yeah. And it's just a different day and age now to where it's not really talked about like that. I don't even hear people talking about whooping their kids like that now, but you know, like back in the day, you used to get whooped in school. So that was just what it was. You whooped your children, you get whooped in school. But you know, now, like, I mean, for the older ages, it seemed like open rebuke ain't really that open that much. You know what I'm saying? It's more either secret love or private rebuke. You know what I'm saying? I think you gotta examine that. And even with rebuke, how do you rebuke openly? You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot of different aspects to it, but just with this rebuke, it's like open rebuke is better than secret love. So if you believe the scriptures, if somebody openly rebuke you for the right reasons, not trying to humiliate you, not trying to, you know, whatever, but that's love. That's better than secret love. If you sit there and keep covering stuff up, keep hiding stuff, keep acting like stuff don't exist, what's gonna happen? Just like you got a cavity in your tooth, if you don't take care of it, that tooth gonna rot out. So, you know, if you love somebody, you say, hey, man, let me help you take care of that cavity. Let me help you fix that, right? It say, the friend may wound. Well, let me think something else out. Let me go down to verse 6. It says, faithful are the wounds of a friend. All right, how's that possible? How's a friend wound you? But the kisses of an enemy are deceitful. So you see how that kind of look like the opposite? So in Hebraic thought, it say, faithful are the wounds of a friend. Why would my friend be wounding me? But the kisses of an enemy are deceitful, because it's that correction. It's that iron sharpening session, right? If I'm trying to sharpen the iron of somebody, some friction started, it's heated, it's sparks flying, but at the end of the day, now that sword cutting. But the kisses of an enemy are deceitful. So the kisses of the enemy could be, you know, whispering things in your ear, making it seem like it's okay, pat on the back, it's okay, man, don't worry about changing. Everything about don't worry about changing, don't worry about becoming better. That's the kisses of the enemy. Now that's deceitful, because see, over time, them things is gonna rot you out, like that cavity. But faithful are the wounds of a friend. If I strike you, that's gonna stop you in your tracks and make you consider some things. So that's why we really get into the Hebraic thought. You know, what's really going on in this Bible? Because we had a disadvantage because we was taught and we was corrupted into English. So we don't really understand what the meanings, what the culture was. It's like correction can look like hostility. Flattery can look like friendship. Do not judge friendship merely by how someone makes you feel. So someone could make you feel like, man, I feel like they always judging me. But are they judging you righteously? Are they pushing you towards being better? Or are they just, trying to get you to settle or trying to get you to, go contrary to the word? The friend may wound, the foe may kiss. The friend may wound with truth.
Right.
So sometimes the truth hurt, right? We all heard that expression, the truth hurts. It said the foe may kiss with deception. The person correcting you may look hostile because correction hurts. The person agreeing with everything may look loving because agreement feels good. Scripture teaches us to examine what a relationship produces, not merely how it appears. So we got to look at that fruit of that relationship. Rebuke can be an act of love. Leviticus 19 and 17. Leviticus 19 and 17. And it reads, "Thou shalt not hate thy brother in thine heart. Thou shalt in any wise rebuke thy neighbor and not suffer sin upon him." Y'all see that?
Yes, sir.
It say, "Thou shalt not hate thy brother in thine heart." So you don't gotta hate your brother out loud. You can also just hate him in your heart. Secretly. Thou shalt in any wise rebuke thy neighbor. So he's like, man, you should correct your neighbor when you see him going wrong. He said, a brother loveth at all time. Every time I see you about to step off a cliff, hey, bro, you about to step off a cliff. Don't take another step forward. Then I see you about to do it again. Hey, bro, don't step off the cliff. Don't take another. Man, he done saved me twice. And then I'm just like, man, I'm tired of telling this dude he about to walk off a cliff. Here come the third time. I just don't feel like it. And told him twice, and now he gonna step off the cliff. Now he
Warning coming for destruction.
Yo, it do. But as a brother, hey bro, this is my third time telling you, man, don't step off the cliff. All right, maybe you can save him again. If he want to go ahead and step, you can't stop him from stepping, but you gotta tell him. We gotta warn him every time.
Right.
Self-correct.
When you're advising someone and they still do it, sometimes they have to get that brick wall to learn.
And I think they're gonna hit that wall because I think people are gonna either separate themselves when they know, because they're gonna. That's why people start. It say in another place in Proverbs, basically a man to himself is like an island, and he separated himself to intermingle it with all wisdom and all knowledge. And some people take that as a good thing. It's really not a good thing. You're supposed to be in the fold because we got the mindset of the Most High on us as a collective. When people separate themselves because they're trying to go sneak and do something they shouldn't, and then they come back with a report, man, something happened. It don't usually happen when they in the fold. You know what I'm saying? Usually we get in trouble once we dip out. Then we got to call and report, man, I'm in some trouble. Because I ain't seen you in a while on Cold T. Where you been at? Probably been doing something I ain't had business doing. Now I need some help. You know what I'm saying? So usually I think people separate themselves to go get in some trouble, not purposely get in some trouble. They're trying to get away with something, but you can't get around your hood. But it say, let's go to the next one. We was in Leviticus 19 and 17 there. So that was saying, thou shalt not hate thine brother in thine heart. Thou shalt in any wise rebuke thy neighbor and not suffer sin upon him. So that's real love. Hey, look, see you going down this path. there's some things that ain't right about it. I suggest, or man, you know, do you need some help? Whatever, right? But we ain't trying to just allow this sin to keep happening. So that's love. But it don't feel like what we used to love being told that it was. They romanticized everything here in America. So it's about hopeless romanticism, you know, and marriages can't even hardly last because people don't even realize like what real marriage is. It's a partnership. It's about, you know, raising up this family. But if you think it's about going to Dubai and going on these vacations if that's what it's about, that's not what it's about, right? Like it's about, like, life is about survival and about these commandments. These commandments is gonna help you navigate through that in a safer manner. Like back in the day, it was big families because that was who was working your field. So you was more blessed by having more children because you're gonna have a better business at home, basically. Everybody doing their part. Now it's like a bunch of children is like a burden. Oh no.
Yeah, it's better to have fewer children, you know, who follow the word than have children who go astray and who don't have
Yeah, so and now that's what we see now. I feel like it's even though it was Christianity, I'll just use my grandparents and great grandparents' day. Even though it's Christianity, like you said, they was trying to follow that word harder, and they was real Christians. These Christians today, even though Christianity is a farce, that Christianity was more powerful than this modern day Christianity. You see what I'm saying? Because they was more faithful to it. Islam is more powerful than some of these Hebrew camps. You see what I'm saying? It ain't what they into, it's how they carrying themselves. The lifestyle, the dedication. I ain't saying it's the truth. Yeah, I ain't saying it's the truth, but it's more powerful. So that form of Christianity that our grandparents had, it was more powerful than, like you said, a Coty. Nowadays, it ain't even, man. I know a brother that said he was with his grandchildren and said they was like, he was like, man, look at them trees, look at that grass, man. God created all that, ain't that beautiful? Them children look at him and said, who is God?
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
Yup.
I just feel like it's gotta be a just balance, you know. Like it's either way, it could be good either way. It just has to be a just balance. You gotta keep the most high.
You gotta keep the most high now. I ain't gonna hold you. But that's scary, ain't it? Because it's like, dang, how do you not know? And we just saying God, how do you know not know the most high? How do you know not know it's a creator?
I think it's the household dynamic and the school systems. They promote a lot of ungodly things. So our children that are coming up in this, it's not, God is not being taught at home, nor is it being in the school system. So they're being taught to think more, I think, outside of the box and form their own opinion of what it is at most times.
So what they're teaching them now is that everybody has to respect everyone else's opinion, which is what it's doing is it's erasing definite truth. You know, so they're putting everybody's feelings in front of what's actually fact or fiction. Now it's not even about fact or fiction, what is or what isn't. There's no absolutes. It's all up in the air of how you feel.
Yes, it's reality.
So that kind of sound like Babylon, confusion.
Delusion.
Babel is confused. Babel is confounded, right? Confusion. So now, just like all the languages is mixed up, because we start off with one language. Now it's all kind of languages. You see what I'm saying? We start with one faith, one Elohim, one truth. Now it's all kind of, now it's your truth, your truth, your truth. So, like you said, you know, it got to get brought back into that singularity. That's why Yahuwah Elohim Echad, you know, that's why we say Echad, Yahuwah Elohim is one. But now, I got to accept everything. you got a husband with a husband, a wife with a wife, and I gotta accept that. You know, somebody could walk into the bathroom and say, I identify as, and you're clearly crazy. So, you know, you got the word, and then you got the world. And you just gotta decide. And a friend gonna decide to tell you, hey man, that's not of the word. That's of the world. Next one, next slide. Can you receive correction? Now that's a personal question. Can you receive correction? Proverbs 15 and 32. Proverbs 15. And what I notice about like this type of study is like, it's like the Bible got everything broke down in the categories. So you notice a lot of things come out. The book of the wisdom books here, Proverbs, probably Psalms. We could have went to the 16:11 to the Apocrypha and stuff. It's a lot of stuff about friendship in Sirach, but I don't have any of that on here. But you know, like everyday living, you'll find a lot of that in Proverbs. Like I was just about to say that. Yup. So these are the wisdom books: Proverbs, Ecclesiastes, Psalms. What else? Song of Solomon. I think that's more like a. I think they still consider a wisdom book, but it's like a poetic book. But you'll get a lot of things from daily life in these instances. You know, so where we at with it? Proverbs 15 and 32. And it say, he that refuseth instruction despiseth his own soul. He that refuseth instruction despiseth his own soul. So if you don't want to take correction, you hate yourself. But he that heareth reproof getteth understanding. And that's wisdom. You'll you know, somebody can have knowledge and keep bumping their head and then stop bumping their head because they got the knowledge of that. Or you can have wisdom, see somebody else bump their head. When you go through there, you duck, and you don't got to go through that the same way they did. So that's wisdom, is seeing somebody else's mistakes that you don't have to go through that. It said the fear of Yahuwah is the instruction of wisdom, and before honor is humility. So it's a friendship has two responsibilities. Can I love someone enough to correct them? Can I humble myself enough to receive correction? So it's on both sides. So a friend, our key friend, I could correct him today, and he's like, dang, can I receive that? Okay, it was truth. I got to do better, tighten up. And then same thing. I just got him together yesterday. Today, he seen something in me. Hey, you out of line. Tighten up. Can I receive that? So it's a personal question. It says Proverbs 19 and 25. Proverbs 19 and 25. And it reads, smite a scorner, and the simple will beware. Right? It says simple mean basically somebody stupid. Back in the day, that's like a, you know, you simple, you're simple-minded. Simpleton. Right? These words hit hard back then. Simple, foolish, scorner, fool, you dog. Like that's like them getting on your head. Smite a scorner, and the simple will beware. And reprove one that hath understanding, and he won't understand knowledge. You see the difference? If you reprove one that hath understanding, he will understand knowledge. All right, so he's like, okay, well, thank you. He's gonna be more appreciative. Somebody with wisdom and love for the scriptures and love for Yahuwah, when they get corrected in righteousness, they will be thankful that you was in that corner. And I'll say sometimes they might not be thankful at that moment, but ultimately when they go back and look, they're gonna say, okay, I see what they was saying. It says, a person's reaction to correction can reveal their character. You see that? So how somebody reacts to correction, that's going to reveal what's really inside of them. The wise question. The wise person asks, is this correction true? The foolish response is only, how dare you correct me? That's straight flesh talking. Receiving correction does not mean every occasion is right. It means having enough humility to examine correction by scripture, truth, evidence, and fruit. Scripture, truth, evidence, and fruit. This is Oyeb, enemy, foe, hostile one. And Shona, or they say Sonne, one who hates, adversary. The foe does not always look like a foe. Proverbs 27:6 warns that the kisses of an enemy are deceitful. An enemy may flatter, smile, agree, pretend loyalty, or conceal destructive intentions. Right. Proverbs 22:24-25. Let's go there real quick. It says at 24, make no friendship with an angry man, and with a furious man thou shalt not go. So the children I think about a lot. You got a whole bunch of angry children around here with switches and Dracos. And then we keep wondering why, they keep getting adult sentences. Because you can't make friendship with angry man. Right? It's a lot of young, angry men out here that don't got no father figures, don't got nobody raising them up, don't got nobody telling them nothing. They learn from TV and social media. They learning from the music. So they daddy is finessed 2 times and quiet on a creek. That's what it is, though. This is who's raising them.
I just heard about that today.
I literally heard about that last night.
Like what the real meaning is.
Yeah. So it's a song?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Called Quiet. Quiet. It's about down low minutes. Oh.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's with all the teenagers and stuff. Dude, that's what they singing right now. I got 3.5 million views on YouTube. I seen it last night. Wow. And I was disgusted.
I ain't hear the song. I just heard somebody talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I heard somebody talk about it, so I went to go see. But I'm like,
The cover look like it's like a movie. Like it'd be a movie.
And that's a transvestite.
yes, it is. And
On the cover?
And he's getting backlash, right? Because he's like making videos talking about kids going to media and kids life. Basically, talking very inappropriate about him and kids.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
but do you know? I don't know the term of it. Those AI stories. If you notice that they're very dark, it's intermixing human and animal and things of that nature. How they're introducing it as it's like a story time, but they're actually,
They are conditioning the children. That's exactly what the school they're doing too. So basically, what their agenda is to get people to not know the difference between real and fake.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So
Blurring the
they're
line.
taking away absolutes and they're taking away truths. And they're letting feelings come out too, because when they're posting these videos and stuff, they're looking more and more real to the point where some people see it and they don't even know that it's AI. You know what I'm saying? They think this is a real video. They don't want us to know the difference because they want it to take over.
Yep.
Like that's why
That's the Project Blue Beam.
continue.
That's part of it.
And they make it a series. Like when you start watching, it's like, okay, it's kind of like a movie.
Mhm.
But then when I got to look, I said, wait a minute, this is dark deception because a human turns into an animal and then is having, SEX, well, they not spell,
Mhm.
with the human, and they having a mixed child. And I'm like,
Mm.
oh, crossbreed, this is the
And that's
shedding the blood.
They did it overseas.
That's that one. What is the animal?
Over in the
one that they be worshiping, like Baal. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
The crossbreed. What is
Yeah.
the name of it?
Like Baphomet.
Baphomet.
Mm-hmm.
It's the Baphomet.
Yep, and then you go to the Testament of Solomon in the pseudos, it talks about that woman that gets her powers off of men becoming gay. But she's a crossbreed between, I think,
Onias.
the horse body
Uh-huh.
and the female torso.
Where is that?
I think it's in Wisdom of
Testament
Testament of Solomon, and they talk about I think his name Onias, and they say he reigned over like the homosexual tendencies.
I don't know. I think it's in the blue. The blue. I got it over there.
Or the Testament of it's two different.
It's two books. It's two books
Oh.
of the pseudo pictures.
Oh, I got to see those too.
Yeah, let me see.
But I ain't never read the Testament.
Yeah.
Yeah, 'cause I had to like stop. It's like because you have to watch what goes in your eye gate because I was like, it's like a story. I'm like, okay, it's interesting, but then when I start looking, I'm like, wait a minute,
Then they went left.
why is this tail coming out? And it's a female and it's a dragon or with fangs and blood. And
Yeah.
I said, you got to stop.
What is it in the morning?
I mean, cause like it just this. Let's just think about it, right? If we was just walking around and we see somebody and a tail just pop out, we ain't think about procreating with that. That's a sick mindset.
Y'all know that they say that some of the nations they used to have tails back in the day, and they had to cut them off.
They still do now.
They do. I do.
Because, like I said, like overseas where they don't care, like folks Pakistan, all that.
You see a lot of that stuff.
That's their norm.
Mm-hmm.
They go out there and make with they. That's why all they children be coming out looking all crazy. And then even with Pakistan and the Indians and whatnot, when they have a deformed baby or whatnot, they worship that baby.
What?
Yeah, they do. But it's like
Most I say that baby can't even come in a temple. We said if a person have a deformity or anything like that, they can't even come into the temple because
They lay the whole house down.
You know what I'm saying? Not to say like the baby not worthy of life or it should not be loved or nothing like that, but you know, we not supposed to be first of all worshiping no baby, but the most I say that's why he say bring me the perfect one. You know what I'm saying? Bring the perfect goat, bring the perfect, and then even like people, you can read it in Leviticus to tell you if you got any defection, any deformity, oils, ball, you know, whatever is going on, don't come in the temple. You can't come here. So, you know, that
covenants, you know, and our children need to be like, I think, really aware of that, you know, because we didn't know. We would do blood oaths when we were younger.
Blood. We'll say we was blood brothers,
Or
and
no, you literally, well, back in mine, we stick our finger in.
put the blood together.
Square.
Yep. Yep. We did
you're
that.
not a square, you
And
know,
I'm not gonna do any of that. But
It's a whole bunch of stuff there, boy.
and they still doing it in the schools today, and they taking a toll on it. They said the kids can't even read, but they know AI. You know what I'm saying?
they know the technology. They can't write.
No, they know all these demonic songs. They know all the pedophiles that are and they looking up there. I love these people. They're growing up to be like these people. You can't tell a girl from a boy. No.
Yeah. All right, let me see where we at. That's good talk though. All right, bad company can corrupt you. Bad company can corrupt you. Yup. 22, verse 24 and 25. And then we'll jump over here to 1 Corinthians. So
Okay, I'm sorry. Because I got the 1560. So mine says something completely different.
well, let's hear what it says.
It says, make no friendship with an angry man.
Mhm.
Neither go with the furious man. Let thou learn his ways, it says least that learn his ways and receive instruction to thy soul.
Okay, it's basically the same thing.
Yeah.
It's a here lest thou learn his ways and get a snare to thy soul. But what's a snare? Destruction.
Trap.
Yup. Trap. So, let's just hit it again. Make no friendship with an angry man. So you're just too angry for me to be friends with you. You know what I'm saying? You're just too angry. It says, and with a furious man thou shalt not go. Because, man, he about to go make it happen. Most likely.
Yeah.
You know, even if it's your friend and he in a heated moment, I'm about to go make it happen right now. And then you go with him, you better have that charge too.
That's it.
Yup.
I got to be taken out because you're going into the enemy's territory.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not wisdom, you know. Sometimes a lot of us are, I should say, a lot of our people are taken up by their own foolishness.
Mm-hmm.
You see that all the time in black movies. They tell you the script in the black movie. All the hood movies.
It's basically
Say
script.
the same thing. Boys in the hood.
Yup, let me
Young
out.
boys always mad.
Yeah, they was always mad. But you see in Boys in the Hood, he said, let me out.
Yeah.
He said, let me out.
He knew he wasn't married for it. He knew it was about to go down.
Like, let me out. Sometimes you gotta just let me out right now.
In that situation, be a coward and be free.
Hey, they gonna call you a coward, but you was really more brave. You was really brave. Cause see, everything is flipped. That's what we're showing you here. What your friends is telling them ain't your friends in the car taking you gonna shoot them up. Them is your foes because 25 years to life from now, dang, I wish I would just got out.
And that's when you separate yourself.
Yup.
You know, and that's when the separation can be righteous.
Mm-hmm.
He not here.
But even though they were so gangster, they knew that their friend was not cut for that.
Yup. So they let him out.
Let him out.
Yup.
Because either he gonna go and snitch on us, or
it's not gonna work out good somehow. Yeah. Yup. All right, we almost through it, y'all. I think it's been a good talk, though. This loving an enemy, making them your friend. Let's see what it say. So now, one thing about it too, y'all, is Hebraic thought is who is our neighbors and things of this nature. So that's why I just keep wanting to impress Hebraic thought. Hebraic thought. How do Hebrews think? Because it's not American. We in America doing Hebrew things, but this is not. This is not that. Matthew 5:44. Matthew 5 and verse 44. And it reads, but I say unto you, love your enemies, barak them that curse you, do good to them that hate you, and pray for them which despitefully use you and persecute you, that ye may be the children of your Father which is in Shamayim, for he maketh his sun to rise on the evil and on the good, and sendeth rain on the just and the unjust. For if ye love them which love you, what reward have you? Do not even the publicans the same? And if ye salute your brethren only, what do ye more than others? Do not even the publicans so? Be ye therefore perfect, even as your Father which is in Shamayim is perfect. So, I think this confused a lot of people. How do we be like so hard against sin or hard against heathenism and then love our enemies? I don't think it's telling us to love heathenism and love paganism. It said that your enemies and your foes will be that of your own house, right? So if we know that the house of Yasharal is a collective of all these tribes, all these people, then we're gonna have some enemies within there, right? So we're gonna have enemies, and we're showing you what enemies are. We're gonna have somebody in there that want to use you, that want to despise you, that mad that you having to come up. You see Saul and David, they was of the same house, but Saul was trying to kill David. Saul could not stand David. He was just doing what he was supposed to do.
Yes. All in one his reigning.
Yeah, he was
Especially after he got told his time was coming to an end.
Mm-hmm.
So when you see your destruction, that's, you know, the scary part. You see it.
You see it, but that pride won't let you let it go.
You know? So I ain't gonna have it no more.
So
Like,
I'm trying to
I
hold
can't
on as
have
long as I can.
I can't have it.
No,
You can't have it.
yeah.
Crazy dudes be thinking when they losing their
The fatal attraction.
Women too.
The fatal attraction. Boy, yeah. Why you gotta take everybody out with you? Just take yourself out. Why you gotta take everybody out with you? You just evil. That's just evil.
Yeah, but then again, you know, I think we gotta stop looking at the person from you know, straight ahead. No, what's behind the person? What's behind their eyes?
Yeah.
What are they dealing with? Because that spirit.
It's a spirit of murder.
Yeah.
Or whatever. Yeah. But like you said, I think you gotta get to the root cause of that spirit, because you're like, damn, why did they just kill the whole place up and then they killed themselves? That's the spirit of murder and rage.
Yep, that's in the pseudos too. Yeah,
Yeah,
is the first.
All sin. Yup. All sin is it's from pride, because it's you can't admit that the Most High was right about whatever the circumstance. You know, the Most High got the best way each and every time, all the time. He gonna be the first one to follow his instructions. So what he said, love at all times. So that means correct every single time. He ain't letting nothing slide. And we can't get over that sometimes, like, because we used to letting people slide every now and then. Well, man, it ain't that bad. Just don't do it to them this time.
I think about this a lot. Like, look,
Mhm.
like what actually is love, right? Because in the world, when you're in the world and when you're surrounded by people who don't actually know the Bible, their love is backwards. You know, they feel like if you making a person feel comfortable, you know, they can come over and they can be around you and the conversations can go easily every single time. They think that's love. You know what I'm saying? But we know that that's not true. We know that that's a deceptive type of love. We know that.
You know the word they use for that now, politically correct. If you at work or if you in like a social setting, then you gotta be politically correct. Like you said, look, man, you work with all type of different people. You in the grocery store, all different type of people, different backgrounds. So like, let's say you in the grocery store and you ringing out and it's a homosexual. I mean, I'm not about to stop what I'm doing, and just because you living like that, right? We going about our day. Now, if I say something, no, hey man, why y'all got this dude back here working like this, dressed like this, and that's gonna cause a problem in that store.
Yeah. But I mean, like, if you like in an intimate setting like this, you know what I'm saying? And let's just say we was at work, right? If I'm dealing with y'all, say you was a liar, he was a thief, and I was something else, you know.
Yeah.
And instead of like correcting each other, we making each other feel comfortable. You know, because that's what we were known.
Next time you go steal.
Like, hey, right. Or just simply not bring it up.
Yeah.
Like, act like we don't see it.
He just came in with the whole booster bag.
Yeah.
And then, oh yeah, just throw them in the closet. Yeah.
Kind of passing it off.
Yeah, it make it the norm.
But that's not love.
That's not
But
love.
that's what we always grew up thinking in the world, that's what love was.
Yup.
You know what I'm saying? But that,
Nah, facts. Yup, they go right. That's right with it. Yup. Let's see, Romans 12 and 18. I'm gonna start at 17. It says, recompense to no man evil for evil, providing things honest in the sight of all men. So, you know, we know an eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth, right? But when it comes down to evil for evil, I mean, how do you get around this one? You know what I'm saying? Somebody do you something evil, and then you just go back and do the same thing to them? Or do you do the right channel? Like if somebody robbed from you, do I just go back and rob them? Or do I contact the law enforcement? Or what do I do? You know what I mean?
Evil really is gonna continue the cycle.
It's gonna keep the cycle going.
I think it's crazy. Go to the Father, and then you have to. You can forgive, but keep your distance. You won't create that offense again. I forgive you. The relationships forever change. Right.
Yeah. Because the forgiveness really on your side. The forgiveness is really like, I'm taking this off of me.
Say that one more time.
The forgiveness is on the side of the victim. It's really more that. So it's a duality, because if I keep on doing, I keep wrong. I keep forcing him to have to forgive me according to these scriptures. That don't mean he got to mess with me, but you know, he's supposed to forgive me according to these scriptures. So there's really more I'm putting on him to take off of him. It's an extra workload. So that's why it's so bad when you do each other wrong, because you're putting something else on him. But like you said, that is going to change that relationship moving forward.
Yeah, I think about it like this. If you with somebody and they consistently doing something, because if you're offending somebody and you have an offense going on and you give them a first chance, second chance, at some point in time you have to be real with yourself that this person is doing unrighteous things. This is ungodly. You know what I'm saying? And Proverbs, Psalms chapter 1 verse 1 is blessed those who sit not in counsel of ungodly. So just like she said, you can forgive it, you can still love, but do you have to continue to be around this person?
Nope. You should separate yourself.
You should separate yourself.
Yeah.
If they continue to do it,
They don't think it's okay. It's like, she forgave me this time. I could know that change has to occur in you.
You don't like your blessing by continuing to put yourself around this person who's already showed you this.
Yeah. They show you the
next reaction. Right.
All right, this is what it read too. It say, if it be possible, as much as lieth in you, live peaceably with all men. So this is what I be thinking about when I'm just in my normal daylings, because it's all kind of different people in the world. But you just be peaceable if possible. If it ain't possible, then do what you got to do. Protect yourself. But if it's possible, then we don't have to wipe your nation out. We don't have to go to war. We don't have to do any of that.
In your own household.
Yeah.
You know, that's the hardest part.
That is.
When you're living with someone or you have kids and you gotta deal with that dynamic and keep the peace.
Yeah.
That and the forgiveness and leave.
Yeah.
I think that is the closest, one of the closest ones to you.
Is the hurt.
The one that you have to deal with, you know, because we could go out there in the world every day and it's because we're not intermingling like that.
It's real quick.
It's quick. Yeah. Work is quick. I don't live with you, but it's the test.
And that's the hardest part that I had to understand too, is like, why do we treat strangers better than we treat people in their own house? It's just that bully mentality, like the big brother gonna beat up on the little brother, or your cousin, your older cousins always gave you noogies and wedgies and stuff. Don't do that to me, do that to them. Yeah, something happened. Husband ain't complimented a hairdo in years, but the boss got a new watch. Hey man, I noticed your watch.
That's wrong. The Bible says show the wife, but I think feel like if your family is, the Bible says who's your family. Those who doing the will of the Father is your family. So it's possible if you are able to separate yourself and let them from the distance. That's what I recommend. Because if not, you're gonna stress yourself out.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? And then, you know, and the people that you can't separate yourself from, like, you know, the people you got kids with and stuff
Yeah.
like that, just try to show them how to handle conflict. You know, because if you're gonna join them in the conflict, you might as well join circus.
Cycle.
Join the circus.
Like a tornado that keeps forming.
Uh-huh.
And a tornado could be mild and it could be severe, but it's in the family dynamic, you know. And so learning when to pull yourself out and go to that secret place.
That's a talent in its own, or a gift.
And it takes a while to learn how to do it, but you gotta remember that, you know, what I've been working on personally is being blameless.
Mhm.
So even if somebody offends me, do I gotta offend them back? Or do I gotta do this? I don't have to act like that. I can act according to these scriptures. And you know, just pray for them when I get home. Get my thoughts right.
Yeah.
Let me get my thoughts right. I'm saying a whole bunch of stuff. But then it's like, okay, Father, forgive me for those thoughts.
Mhm.
Align me so that I can begin to pray effectively, so I'm not blocked. You know,
And a lot of times when stuff like that happens, I just say, like, in a time when you feel riled up or hot, don't speak. The Bible says,
Study to be quiet
angry
and sin not.
It says, sit up on your bed
Uh-huh.
and ponder in your heart about the situation and be still, you know, until you can figure out what to say. And
Yeah.
how to deal with it. So, you know, I've definitely been working on it too. Y'all.
Yeah.
Working on
But
remember it.
Yeah.
So I can deal with me because a lot of it's like peeling the layer back of the onion. We have buried so much deep within us,
Mhm.
and then there's those little triggers. The enemy knows us and knows our triggers, and he uses the things that's close to us to give us those triggers.
Right.
And so I think when y'all bring some, that's when we
Right. Because the enemy, they trying to provoke us to anger, and once we become angry, right, the Most High Spirit cannot dwell in a wrathful person. So we just gotta remember to continue to keep our composure, and it's hard.
Yeah.
It's hard.
It's
Oh,
hard.
my God. It's hard. No.
Yeah. And that's what make you. That's what a growth be at. I'm at. Let's see what 19 say. Romans 12 and 19. Dearly beloved, avenge not yourselves. Like you said, a coach to you, man. Like sometimes you could just sit back and you might have to just bite the tongue that time. It said, but rather give place unto wrath. So you got to give place unto the wrath of the Most High. For it is written, vengeance is mine, I will repay, saith Yahuwah. We shouldn't be repaying these people. That's what we go off, is when it's got to be me to get you. I might not even be in there. You did me wrong, or you did my family wrong. I might not even be in the equation. I might be years and distance removed from you physically, but the Most High vengeance is going to come back on you. And that's on all of it. That's called judgment. They call it karma in the world. In reality, it's judgment. The laws of the most, they call it laws because everything got an effect. So the laws of the Ruach is it's gonna have an effect, but that don't mean that it's gotta be physically from you. It said, therefore, if thine enemy hunger, feed him. If he thirst, give him drink. For in so doing, thou shalt heap coals of fire on his head. So, like you said, your enemy can be somebody in your own house. It could be your child at that moment, right? Just because I'm mad at my son, that mean I'm not gonna feed him. No. You know, am I gonna let him go thirsty? Boy, but eventually you got to pull up to that table. So you know, it says, "Be not overcome of evil, but overcome evil with good." All right. So we got a few more. So basically, you can refuse hatred, you can refuse revenge, you can pray and show mercy, you can do good, you can still exercise wisdom, boundaries, and operate distance. Forgiveness does not automatically mean continued access. So we want to make that very clear. Forgiveness don't mean access. Sometimes scriptures command separation. All right. Proverbs 14:7. Proverbs 14:7. And it reads, go from the presence of a foolish man when thou perceivest not in him the lips of knowledge. So if you sitting there talking and people just start getting up, walking away, and you know these people know this word, maybe you need to be worried, because it say go from the presence of a foolish man when thou perceivest not in him the lips of knowledge. You probably ain't talking about nothing. You know, stuck on stupid. And I witnessed this in my Aunt Ricky. I would see people come up and start talking to him, and he'll literally just get up and just walk away. And then and I'll be like, you know, and he'd be like, man, yeah, he'd start talking some stupid stuff. You know what I'm saying? And he's just like, man, I couldn't bear to hear it. So he just, oh man, I gotta go or whatever. But you know, that's script, and that's what you got to do. It says go from the presence. Sometimes wisdom says go. Sometimes wisdom just tells you get up and go. 2 Timothy 3. 2 Timothy 3. And I think we're going 1 through 5. It says, this know also that in the last days perilous times shall come. Yep. So we know we in the last days, so these are perilous times. Now these are the what do you call it when you sick and then they got like symptoms. These are the symptoms of the times. It says perilous times shall come. So perilous is the disease. Here go the symptoms. For men shall be lovers of their own selves. That go two ways, like we was just talking about. They on the creek with it.
Oh my goodness.
But they also is just boastful and prideful, right? Look at my watch, look at my chain, look at my, I'm a whatever, entrepreneur. I mean, they didn't flip everything into being boastful now. Covetous.
Oh my gosh. Maybe even worse.
Man.
I think the female, yeah.
They're prideful.
They in despair.
Their vanity.
And it's delusion. You can't convince them that what y'all telling them is the truth.
I was picking up the food today. I got out the park, and this lady, she was standing outside on the phone, and you could tell she was like a little ratchet, you know. But she looked like she had her stuff together.
Okay.
And she, you know, had her hair done. She was cool, you know. She opened the door for me and everything. She was staring at me. I could tell.
Okay.
You know, they were all staring at me, but she was.
Yeah.
She would look like she wanted to speak to me, but you know, the women nowadays, you know, she didn't want to speak to me, but she wanted to speak.
She like, dang, I want to know what's going on, but
right. Like I wasn't like I'm interested in this woman, but I don't know. I don't want to approach her, so I ended up getting my food, and that's how she had focus. She didn't speak to me. She just was speaking out loud, like, "Oh, who got this? It smell like this," knowing that I'm the one who got it. So I'm like, "I got it." You know what I'm saying? She was like, "Yeah, if I knew it was some of that, I would have got me some." I'm like, "Okay." So then she walked out the door, and I'm like, "Hey, sister, I'm gonna give you my card. You know, if you ever want to talk, you can call me." You know, and she kind of was like, she was excited. You know, like she was
like, dang, I wanted to talk,
right,
but
like, all I had to do was come talk to her. But then she was like, you probably like me. They called me a conspiracy theorist. I'm like, I mean, I guess I started off that way, but you know, I'm a Hebrew.
yeah.
I believe we tell people the Bible, and I live the Bible. And she was like, "What Bible? The white man's Bible?"
Okay.
Because I only mess with Ethiopian Bible, and I'm like, I'm trying to explain to her that they say the same thing. You know what I'm saying? And she was like, "No, they don't. They don't say the same thing." I'm like, they do, man. I
Yeah,
got it at home.
yeah.
She's so stuck on trying to me, what I was thinking was like, dang, she's so stuck on society and what society believes that she can't even hear me right now. You know what I'm saying? She can't even hear me for real. Like, she hear what I'm saying,
But she can't comprehend it.
she can't comprehend it because society done already told her that this Bible was not for her.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So she can't even let it come into her ears. And I'm just like, that's crazy. That's
A strong delusion.
strong.
Yeah, but it's kind of like what we were before we came into the truth.
It was definitely, I was definitely like that. I was definitely like that. I want to try to hit nut. Yeah. Man,
But you know, it took the Most High.
I would straight call you Satan worshiper and everything.
Yeah, I mean, when I say I was in deep, you know, since I was 5, and you know, deep into Christianity, where I read the Bible from front to back, and I lived the lifestyle. But there's a lot of Christians that really walk out the Bible. They just don't know that they're walking out Torah.
Yeah, and that's what I was saying too, like about the older generations, like they was closer to Torah walking than this modern day, like this super modern day Christianity. Cause like I seen this thing, y'all, that basically it's these Christians in like New York or some city, but they basically was going against the Islam, right? So they was going to their mosque with the big pork roast. So they was putting the pork in front of their building or eating it or something like that with a pig, putting a big. This was some Christians, yeah. So they antagonizing Islam by putting this roasted pork out there, but you see what I'm saying? That's evil for evil, man. Exactly.
Oh, you trust that pork, they fight you. You trust Christian, they can't have pork.
No, they will fight you. For real, I told her, dang, what was that? Somebody got mad at me because I told them I don't eat pork.
How they gonna get mad at you?
No, for real. They was upset. They was real upset too. They was real upset. I took my kids to this place called Bagel Fair. And we really like this place, right? But I had, for some reason, this particular time, I'm telling the dude, I'm like, hey, we got a, strong allergy report.
Okay.
And
so you just making sure.
Right. Just don't, I know y'all got pork in here, so just, change the gloves, stuff like
watch
that.
the grill, whatever.
Do the basic, just things to make sure, that
ain't no allergy, yeah.
So I tell him that. He pick up 3 bagels, put them down, take his gloves off, put on new gloves. So I'm like, so did you touch pork with the gloves on? And he was like, yes, I did. And I said, and them bagels was clutch. And he was like, yeah. I'm like, so you get 3 more bagels then? And he was like, yes, I can. And then he grabbed them. Then he went back into the back, got his manager. The manager came out and was talking to me. He had attitude. He had attitude. Yes, so I heard you have pork allergy. I'm just letting you know that we only got 1 slicer. So, I sliced this and I sliced that with it. And I'm like, okay, cool. Like, but you don't have
business brew. They get a hold of this.
You hear me?
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, did you at least clean it?
Yeah.
Before, the different meats. And he was like, no, we don't do that. And I was like, okay, but if you care, about your customers, some people don't eat pork, just consider that in the future. And he just was when I say to look at this man, he had such a just nonchalant, but then he was getting smart at the same time. And I'm like, why you upset with me?
Yeah.
What is wrong with you?
His spirit was
And
frustrated.
then they just real, you could tell they were very bothered. Very bothered. I'm like, that's crazy.
No more bagels from them.
Nah, that's why I told my kids, I said, hey, y'all know we ain't never come here.
Man.
Ever again.
Man, let me get through some more of these symptoms. Because this is the perilous times is the disease. At verse 2, it say, for men shall be lovers of their own selves, covetous, boasters, proud, blasphemers, right? This is all happening. Disobedient to parents. We see this heavily. Unthankful. People they're unthankful. They treat their materialistic things even like it ain't nothing. Like, first of all, everything is about money and Louis V belts, but then they don't even keep their stuff up. They unholy, without natural affection, because that's the only way you go into a school shooting or concert and shooter. That's no natural affection. It's, these crazy stories coming out. The lady cut the baby out the lady's stomach because she couldn't get pregnant. These are instances of without natural affection. Truce breakers. We see this a lot of times, definitely with these nations. They'll sit there and say they got a ceasefire, then the next thing you know, they done blew up Gaza. It's like
I would say they're gonna say peace, peace, and then it's gonna be crazy.
Mm-hmm. False accusers, incontinent, fierce despisers of those that are good. Like you said, you just doing good, and they can't stand you. Traitors, heedy, high-minded, lovers of pleasures more than lovers of Elohim, having a form of godliness, but denying the power thereof. From such turn away. So like we said, sometimes you still got to separate. Biblical love does not require ultimate access. Forgiveness is reconciliation or related, but they are not identical to continuing close fellowship regardless of someone's conduct. All right. 1 Corinthians 5 addresses serious publicly tolerated sexual immorality with Corinthian congregation. And it says to do this in that instance. So this 1 Corinthians 5 and 5. 1 Corinthians 5 and 5. And it reads, to deliver such in one to Hashatan for the destruction of the flesh, that the Ruach may be saved in the day of the Master Yahushua. All right, so when they keep going against the grain in the body, in the fold, and this is Torah, you got to deliver them to Satan. So like for a child that kept acting up, you go through all the proper channels. You prayed for him. You didn't spare the rod. You didn't beat him with the rod. You didn't try to show some love and affection and forgiveness. After the child is just corrupt, what they do, they bring them to the elders, let them examine them, let them decide. And if they couldn't get that child mind right, them elders will stone that child to death. The elders would sit there and throw bricks. I mean, man, and y'all as children up until 20 years old.
I doubt it was many of those children back then.
They was in order. That's the whole. They was in order.
Take one example.
And that's what he said it was for. It's to show the rest of the congregation. Hey, we're gonna put shame out of this congregation. We're gonna put this mockery. We will not be mocked. Yahuwah will not be mocked. Imagine you said, first of all, that's your child, somebody's friend, somebody's partner, whatever, somebody's grandchild, and to sit there and witness that, yeah, we ain't gonna have to worry about this too much. I bet them children was in order. And see, that's not going, the laws ain't going on today like that.
And then even that too, because I was just talking this morning with some Hebrews. Even that, like when we have them in the home and we raise them in there, it be cool. But then, like once they have it out, once they able to like go out, you know what I'm saying? They be learning all kinds of different things out there. And that's why it's about root. It's about rooting it in them, because you can't shield nobody, because you gotta go outside, right? But that's why the root is, and you see other nations how they operate. You'll be like, let's say it's whatever American diet you on, and you in their presence, and you want to try to say, oh no, I don't eat that. It's just that simple. It's American food. I don't eat that. I'll eat when we eat at home.
Huh? What? Yeah, it's American to be going out eating everywhere. You know what I'm saying? Just
We need to start eating back in, when I'm finding out the chemicals and stuff, if they're not so much chemicals, but it's half meat and then the rest is like lab, especially with Chick-fil-A.
yeah.
The lab stuff with the chickens.
They say they got the ingredients in there. They got over 100 some ingredients for bread. That's not bread then. In the chicken. That's not chicken then. It's whatever them ingredients is. Casserole. So this passage concerns serious congregational discipline and even severe discipline has a stated restoration purpose that the spirit may be saved. So you got to deliver such in one unto Satan for the destruction of the flesh that the spirit may be saved. So that's the whole thing. So sometimes you got to put people out the congregation. You got to deliver them to Satan so the soul can be saved. It's not because you hate that person. It's actually because this is what we say. The opposite of love in America is the Hebrew love. The Hebrew love is tolerate. I mean, the American love, tolerate. Don't say none, tolerate. Let them do it. The Hebrew love is get them up out of there. Let them feel the flame. And then they get to decide, just like the prodigal son. The prodigal son had the choice. Hey, I could leave or I could stay and do what my daddy said. I don't have to worry about food. I don't have to worry about shelter. I don't got to worry about nothing. I'm in here with Pops. Or I could go out here and try it because it looks appealing out there. The world looks appealing. So let me go have my shot out here. And he got to the point he was about to eat what the swine was eating. If I'm not mistaken, if we look at it, it said he was about to eat the slop of the.
I think he ate the slop when he was at a different place when he had no more money. He did.
Look at how far he falling.
Yeah.
And that's all he's sitting there. I don't gotta go through this. Let me go home. That's what made him go. So reality check. Mm-hmm. He looked up and said,
Maybe it's
whoa, they eating this.
Let me go home.
Come on, man. I'm going home. And that's how us who have, found the truth, that's how we feel, right? We was eating slop, we was eating all the doctrine, we was eating hate, we was boosting, we was hustling, whatever, doing our own people wrong. I remember on Midhofer, it used to be that Walmart, neighborhood Walmart. And it's for the neighborhood, right? I mean, it was cool to be able to have that neighborhood Walmart right there. I'm not gonna lie, because it's not a whole lot of stores out there. You go up there, get what you need. It's cool, man. My homegirl used to work up there. Okay, man, they was tearing them up. They was tearing them up to the point they shut it down. Yeah, so now we ain't got one. And it's just like that. Like we be.
Like the Value City.
Yup, that's what was happening with them, and they just get towed up. They can't. We got the Dollar General right there on 38th, and now they don't have the self scan outs no more. They got a bunch of self scan outs in there, but you can't use them. So ultimately, we destroy our own community. You know what I'm saying? Because we don't want to do right. We destroy our own community.
We're doing good, but ain't evil. We don't love our friends. We're good at doing evil, but to do good, we know not. We
the best.
Yeah. And we the worst at doing bad. But we're getting there,
In 1 Timothy 1 and 19 mentions Hymenaeus and Alexandra, who I have delivered unto Satan, that they may learn not to blaspheme. So just an example of where that had to happen. Notice the purpose, that they may learn, right? That's why they delivered them to Satan. Again, discipline has a corrective purpose. The progression can be warning, correction, opportunity for repentance, separation when necessary. Restoration remains the desired end. Scripture can't, separation is not vengeance. So separation isn't vengeance. Scripture can command separation while simultaneously commanding, do not hate, do not avenge yourself. Romans 12:19, vengeance is mine, I will repay, saith Yahuwah. Distance without hatred, boundaries without vengeance, correction without cruelty, discernment without bitterness. They say, they got that. Yahushua shows the purpose of correction. If thy brother shall trespass against thee, go and tell him his fault between thee and him alone. If he shall hear thee, thou hast gained a brother. Okay, Matthew 18:15. So it's giving you it's the purpose of correction, but also the order. This is how you should go. I should go to you solo and talk to you. And then, because that's like an issue that we got with each other, right? So now some things is open rebuke worthy, and some things is like, man, well, I'm just offended. I need to tell them so we can operate. Now some things is open rebuke worthy. It says the goal is not to I proved you wrong. The goal is I gained a brother. Examine the fruit. Don't merely ask who calls me brother. Ask who behaves like one. Don't merely ask who compliments me. Ask who tells me the truth. Don't merely ask who corrected me. Ask, was the correction righteous and true? Don't merely ask who makes me uncomfortable. Ask, are they sharpening me or destroying me? Don't merely ask who appears friendly. Remember, a friend can wound, an enemy can kiss. Love a friend that loveth at all times. Proverbs 17:17. Rebuke, open rebuke is better than secret love. Proverbs 27:5. Discern, faithful are the wounds of a friend, but the kisses of an enemy are deceitful. We went through that in Proverbs 27:6. Separate when necessary. From such turn away. 2 Timothy 3:5. Even separation must never become permission for hatred or vengeance. So even if we separate, we shouldn't be slandering the person that we separate from. Let the separation speak for itself. And it says, closing challenge, who are you? Am I somebody's true friend? So this is all personal, right? Am I a true friend? Do I love at all times? Do I love at all times? Do I sharpen my brother? Can I tell someone the truth in love? Can I receive correction without immediately becoming offended? Do I secretly flatter people while knowing they are destroying themselves? That's a heavy one. Dang.
It's like instantly, no, I'm not in approval, and then you ask me a question. Okay, now it's my time.
If you had, yeah, okay.
Because I think that's especially in our community, we can like I'll use sisters gossip. Men gossip too. I think men gossip more than women.
Okay. Yeah.
It's like, that's a big
yeah.
It's like
it's an easy one to fall into and think you ain't doing nothing too.
A lot of these things are very helpful because once you come out to the world, the first thing, right, you learn who you are, but then you learn how to keep the commandments. Then when situations come, like, how do I handle these situations?
I know a boss that did that. Yeah, I know a boss that she would talk about another employee, and I would be with other people, and my mouth would be shut. I'm looking at her, and everybody saying something, and she said one day, she said, I could tell for years, like she said, she never opens her mouth to say nothing. For one, witness, I don't want nobody ever say I put my mouth on someone. Two, I'm not in agreement with what you're saying. You're the leader. You should be setting an example and follow that. And so I would
Yeah.
I was just looking at you like, you know,
That's something that I'm learning. You know, keep my mouth shut because everything don't even respond.
Yep.
You know, and so it definitely is good to go through these scriptures to learn how to unlearn.
That's
what
it.
we already know, you know, because especially growing up with a single mom, growing up, you know, in situations like that, that's where a lot of our people, that's what they know. That's what we know, you know. So it is, we have to do something that we got to unlearn. But even at school, you know what I'm
and walk
saying?
in love, you know, it's been plenty of times like with my family,
Mhm.
that, you know, on my dad's side that I really don't know. And I'm coming to an event and I walk in the room and people's turning up their face and I'm like, I don't even
know you.
But you got to remember, their love is different from our love.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah.
It's like it makes it an awkward situation because you really feel like the standalone. It's
Yeah.
like, okay, why am I here? You know, like
You know, but the thought in the room,
Okay. Here go the next one. Say, do I confuse loyalty with enabling wrongdoing? So that's a heavy one to me. Do I confuse loyalty? I'm being loyal, but you keep letting somebody just keep doing wrong, and they're not ever gonna grow. Do I hold grudges against people I have separated from? Dang. If I separated from you, I shouldn't really even be. I shouldn't even thinking about you.
No, for real. Because recently, I had to separate from at least like 5 different sisters in the past like 30 days.
Mm.
Yes. And it's been crazy. I feel like the Most High is like leveling me up, like to the point where I can't take everybody with me. And like I've literally had to separate from these sisters because the things that they were just doing were just things that I don't do anymore. I'm not with that. You know, you're not with this.
I ain't with
We
that.
be walking together, and I don't talk to them. I don't speak about them. I don't think about them. I pray about them every single night. Every single night, I'm like, God, you know, I know that they probably talk about me.
Yeah.
They don't like me, or you know, maybe they do. But at the end of the day, I love them. But I wish they could see, so we could see together. You know, I wish they could hear, so we could talk together.
Yeah.
They probably need true repentance.
Yes,
true repentance.
Yes,
That's
first they gotta have self accountability.
Yes.
Before they even can repent.
Yeah.
And if they can't be accountable, then it's like
It's a dead, yeah. Mm.
If it ain't growing, it's dead.
That go right here. When the scripture reveals that I'm wrong, am I willing to be corrected? You know, it's just a personal question. Am I? And then sometimes it'd be like, oh, I'm willing to be corrected on this, but don't let nobody say nothing about this because I got my reason. You know what I mean? So it's just like, this is what we talk about surrendering to Yahuwah. You gotta give it up. I surrender all. You gotta surrender all. And then last and not least, the final charge. It says a friend or foe is not ultimately just about identifying everybody around us. It is also about examining what kind of friend, brother, neighbor, and even enemy we ourselves have become. Be wise in who you walk with. Be Christ-like or Mashiach-like in how you treat all. Love well, rebuke righteously, discern wisely, separate when it is necessary, seek restoration. And with that, I'll say that's all I got, y'all. I'll say hallelujah. All praise to the Most High. Well, all praises to the Most High. Y'all time and attention on the Shabbat. You know, we're gonna go ahead and commemorate this new moon gathering. Couple things about this new moon season. We keeping it today. I believe it would have been on the 13th, on the 12th or 13th. Around that time, there was a lot going on. there was a lot going on. So one thing about the Shamayim is they are the clock. It's like a clock in the sky. One thing about Hebrew culture is we understood that, and there was 6 planets, you know, what heaven, we're gonna call them the luminaries, right? There was a 6 luminary lined up. It was a solar eclipse in England. Did y'all see that? Solar eclipse in England and a meteor shower that lasted for both of them days. So through this whole new moon process, there's been stuff going on in the Shamayim. And we talk about perilous times. We talk about, can you discern the signs of the time? That eclipse that happened is the beginning of an eclipse that several eclipses over these next years is going to make another Aleph and Taw. So you remember the Aleph and Taw that crossed over? So now we're going on the other continents. It's about to happen over there by Egypt, the Middle East. Yup. It's about to be a Taw that go across there. So just want to be mindful of these type of events as, you know, we steady learning our culture, steady learning, you know, more about the things that's going on. So yeah, it's not a stagnant time in the Ruach. It's not a stagnant time in the Ruach. It's, you know, it's time to really just lock in, tap in, and do these scriptures. But that's all I got. Anybody got anything else? You want to say anything, Coach T?
No, you're right. It's definitely the time the Most High is leading out the weakness terrorists. That's all I can say. A lot of supernatural things has been happening concerning the Ruach and the spiritual affairs. I would definitely encourage people to read Ephesians. You know what I'm saying? And get
put on that whole armor.
No, for real. Learn more about the spiritual aspect of things, because that's what's really all the motion is taking place.
That's what's important.
For real. And then build your faith, because the Bible tells us the things that we would ask for the Most High shall be done to us according to our faith. And a lot of people, what has been revealed to me is that a lot of people, even inside this truth, they don't have faith the way that they're supposed to. You know what I'm saying? And so they say that they believe, but if a person who ain't can't walk, just get up and start walking, will you be astonished, or would you be like, yeah, I told you to do it? You know what I'm saying? So like, we really gotta believe, because we really have power within of us. You know, and if we go through our whole life without accessing this power and doing the thing that we were put here to do, then once we get to heaven, you know, I just would hate for anybody to miss their heavenly mission, to miss their mission, the purpose, the reason that the Most High put us here. Because at the end of the day, when this life is over, we can't come back and do it. We can't come back and do it. But that purpose that we were supposed to do, that purpose that we have in life, chase that purpose and do what you're supposed to do. Align everything in your life with the Most High, and He will give you everything that you need to do what you're supposed to do. Because you don't want to miss the mark, you know, and that's what it's really all about. Don't miss your mark, and you know, keep reaching out to weakness hairs, figure out where you want to be, and you know, surround yourself with people who desire the same thing. All glory, praise.
All praises to Most High. Hallelujah. All praises, man. Say Shabbat Shalom to the Mishpachah. Both tribe, baby. Judah in the house. Shalom. Yes, sir.